Hi, this is David Levi, Nashville recording artist and worship leader at First Presbyterian Church of Ocala, inviting you to a free night of uplifting music on Saturday, April 27th at 7 p.m. at First Presbyterian Church of Ocala. I'll be performing these songs as well as premiering my newest record, Winter's When Things Grow. Hope to see you on April 27th. For more information, visit us online at fpcocala.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Late Night Show with Treehouse Kids, featuring the Late Night Band, with special guests Mary and Joseph, and Jules, the Animal Gal, and one very special mystery guest. We're live with our studio audience on location in Ocala, Florida. And now, here's your host, Brock Lee.
Are you tired of having to come up with a witty saying every week, year after year, for your church marquee? Let Miracle Marquee help you. Our Platinum Church Marquee package contains 4 years of humorous and helpful advice, guaranteed to make an impact. So call us now to purchase an investment that will generate eternal dividends. And be prepared for record turnouts every Sunday in your church. Choose from our pre-scheduled 4-year rotation or mix and match on your own. Our package contains a wide variety of different kinds of humor. We have cheesy church jokes like, to prevent sunburn, use sunscreen. Honk if you love Jesus. Text while driving if you want to meet him. We include seasonally relevant jokes such as, too hot to keep changing sign, sin bad, Jesus good, details inside. You'll love our culturally relevant jokes like, tweet others as you would like to be tweeted. And this Saturday, yard sale bigger than Kanye's ego. And we're all about that grace, no devil. And just plain fun and silly jokes like, mosquitoes also know there's power in the blood. Help us to be the people our dogs think we are. We also like to mix it up with more from the serious side of things like come to Jesus moments and tough love and deep thoughts. Call us now at 1-800-MIRACLE-MARQUEE. We put the fun in fun and take the stress out of your church sign mess.
Worship is central to our church and Christian life. Throughout our church's history, music has been a vital part of our congregation. Over the many years, First United Methodist Church has provided spiritual inspiration through its music and worship. Your participation in this stewardship campaign helps make all of that possible. It keeps our instruments in tune, our technology running smoothly, our handbells ringing, choir singing, and band producing an offering of excellence. But it's about so much more than that. It's about being a part of something special at the heart of our mission and Christian life. Each week, our band, handbells, and choir all meet to prepare for Sunday morning worship. Our rehearsals are fun and filled with great music. Come join us. We are always looking to add to our numbers and share the joy of music. Every Sunday, our services are broadcast live to our online audience and recorded and edited for our cable TV audience. Our dedicated team of wonderful volunteers makes this possible as they faithfully give of themselves to offer quality music and production week after week. We all see the results of this effort, but it's worth taking a look behind the scenes to see what it takes. Our 9 a.m. contemporary service is definitely up to speed with technology. 4 computers in our sound booths and digital soundboard are managed by a rotating team of tech volunteers who operate our presentation software and stage lighting and video production. Our front of house sound and separate live stream mix are remotely controlled downstairs. Our band plays keyboards and guitars through computers, which also provide supplemental multi-tracks. The band reads music from iPads and uses in-ear monitors controlled by an app on their device. Our 11 a.m. traditional service recently made the upgrade to 3 high-definition cameras that are also operated by a rotating team of volunteers. Our sound booth is operated by 2 other volunteers who manage audio levels and presentation software for our screens. This is all coordinated by our volunteer video producer in our TV room behind the sanctuary, where it all comes together each week. First United Methodist Church faithfully provides music that uplifts and inspires. Each Sunday, and special times of the year like Christmas and Easter, and at special events in life like weddings and funerals, our music ministry leads us in celebration and supports us in turning our hearts to God in worship. In Mark chapter 6, we read of the miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus blessed this meager offering and fed a crowd of thousands with plenty left over. In giving away the little they had, they left with more than enough of their daily bread. And just as Jesus blessed and multiplied so long ago, He can do that today with what we have to offer. When we offer up to God what we have, be it time, talent, or treasure, we know that God will bless and multiply it. May God bless each one of you as you prayerfully consider the value and impact of this vital ministry when planning your contributions for the upcoming year. Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even 2 can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not 1 stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding, to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line, and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulders that have fallen to each. And some are loaves, and some are so nearly balls, we have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, 1 on a side. It comes to little more. There where it is we do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in, or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand, like an old stone savage-armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not of woods only and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying. And he likes having thought of it so well, he says again, good fences make good neighbors. The Road Not Taken by Robert Lee Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt it if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. A Dog's Tale by Mark Twain. Chapter 1. My father was a St. Bernard, my mother a collie, but I am a Presbyterian. This is what my mother told me. I do not know these nice distinctions myself. To me they are only fine, large words, meaning nothing. My mother had a fondness for such. She liked to say them and see other dogs look surprised and envious, as wondering how she got so much education. But, indeed, it was not real education. It was only show. She got the words by listening in the dining room and drawing room when there was company, and by going with the children to Sunday school and listening there. And whenever she heard a large word, she said it over to herself many times, and so was able to keep it until there was a dogmatic gathering in the neighborhood. Then she would get it off and surprise and distress them all, from pocket puff to mastiff, which rewarded her for all her trouble. If there ever was a stranger, he was nearly sure to be suspicious, and when he got his breath again, he would ask her what it meant. And she always told him. He was never expecting this, but thought he would catch her, so when she told him, he was the one that looked ashamed, whereas he had thought it was going to be she. The others were always waiting for this, and glad of it, and proud of her, for they knew what was going to happen, because they had had experience. When she told the meaning of a big word, they were all so taken up with admiration that it never occurred to any dog to doubt if it was the right one, and that was natural, because for one thing, she answered up so promptly that it seemed like a dictionary speaking, and for another thing, where could they find out whether it was right or not? For she was the only cultivated dog there was. By and by, when I was older, she brought home the word unintellectual one time, and worked it pretty hard all the week at different gatherings, making much unhappiness and despondency. And it was at this time that I noticed that during the week she was asked for the meaning at 8 different assemblages, and flashed out a fresh definition every time, which showed me that she had more presence of mind than culture, though I said nothing, of course. She had one word which she always kept on hand and ready, like a life preserver, a kind of emergency word to strap on when she was likely to get washed overboard in a sudden way. That was the word synonymous. When she happened to fetch out a long word which had its day weeks before and prepared meanings gone to her dump pile, if there was a stranger there, of course it knocked him groggy for a couple of minutes. Then he would come to, and by that time she would be way downwind on another tack and not expecting anything. So when he'd hail and ask her to cash in, I, the only dog on the inside of her game, could see her canvas flicker a moment, but only just a moment. Then it would belly out taut and full, and she would say, as calm as a summer's day, "It's synonymous with supererogation," or some godless long reptile of a word like that, and go placidly about and skim away on the next tack, perfectly comfortable, you know, and leave that stranger looking profane and embarrassed, and the initiated slatting the floor with their tails in unison and their faces transfigured with a holy joy.